Hello and welcome to a God is a Geek preview. My name's Adam Cook and I'm joined by Lyle Carr. Hello, Lyle.
Hello, happy to be here to preview a really cool game today.
Yeah, we're talking about a game today called Penny's Big Breakaway in a preview sense that is kind of up both of our alleys.
Yeah.
But if I say to our viewers and listeners that it is a 3D platform game, I suspect that there will be people equal parts excited and equal parts concerned.
Yeah, you never really know what you're getting with a 3D platform game. You can either get something that's kind of like a mind-blowing, nostalgic love fest, or you can get something that's just like a little bit like, okay, I get it. Like, you just sort of made this game to sort of for people who just want to maybe run through the motions. I think that about Penny's Big Breakaway that maybe makes it stand out against like other like indie platformers I've played recently it's not it doesn't have like large worlds you explore looking for collectibles really. It's more of a game where like you go through individual stages, so like there'll be a stage that's sort of like 10-15 minutes long maybe, and there's a few collectibles to find along the way, so it kind of works out differently. It's a different way to play it. It's almost like a sort of like a Mario 3D world where you are playing these 3D guided stages. Like you can't control the camera or anything. You literally just are followed through these stages, and there are little alternate routes and stuff. So it's kind of a different platform experience than the sort of collectathon that I feel like a lot of these games are.
It's interesting you mentioned that because that was going to be one of my questions to you because I've only played a small part of it. But the first thing I noticed is, as you say, you can't control the camera. Mm-hmm. And that's obviously a design choice, but it also serves a mechanical point because obviously, you know, people are watching the video footage, they can see what's going on. Penny throws a yo-yo.
Mm-hmm.
But there's two ways of doing it.
There is.
And I was curious more than anything, and obviously explain to the viewers what I'm talking about, but which method you use. I'm really curious what you say here.
Yeah, I actually used the face buttons to use the yo-yo, not the right stick. But yeah, basically Penny has this yo-yo that is her sort of main weapon, main traversal method, I guess. So as Penny, you can just move around and jump. But with the yo-yo, if you press one button and hold it, you sort of like swing off the yo-yo in the air, kind of use it as a grapple point, a bit like Hell Pie of a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, sort of like a little grapple jump, but you can also do like a dash with it, which can serve as an air dash, which by pressing like a button twice to do a dash, but you can also, I guess, you can also tap the stick twice in that direction maybe to do it, because...
You can, yeah, no, you can, and if you flick it in a direction and hold the right stick in that direction, you do the grapple there as well.
Yeah.
And you can hold right trigger to...
sort of roll on the yo-yo.
Yeah. Kind of, I thought of it as a bit like the Sonic Spin, a little bit. Because
you can charge it up as well if you do it sort of stationary, or you can just sort of go into it like a Sonic roll. Yeah, it's got. What's really cool about the game is that it's got like it from the jump. It's got like a really kind of like complex move set, but that you don't really need to be able to master right away or almost ever to get through some of the stages, but to reach some secrets or do things well or get a good score, because there's even kind of like a score attack element to the game where you like build up a combo and almost do like tricks as you go through the stage, which is like, you know, if that's something that's your jam, that's kind of like like this is a game where I can really see people who like put a lot of time into it doing things that look kind of mad.
do you know like after a while of Mario Odyssey being out, you know, there was the tricks where you sort of threw your hat, you jumped on the hat, and people were like getting to places they shouldn't really be able to get to. I kind of, because the throwing the yo-yo out and dashing to it, and it reminded me a little. I don't want to keep comparing it; it feels a bit unfair, but it reminded me a little bit of the Mario Odyssey hat toss.
No, I can get that, but like,
which is no bad thing, by the way.
No, definitely not. I think what's so impressive about this game is that it has that whole set of moves. This isn't just like you've got a jump, you've got a double jump, you'll be able to go through a world, look around for some bits. This is like there's a whole array of things you can do. Maybe there'll be a way to get across to a certain gap by like maybe going past a few enemies or using a few sort of like grapple points or like certain like parts of the environment to get there. Or you might just be able to think, I can probably make that if I do just the right air dash, swing off the yo-yo. You can do a little around the world upwards throw of the yo-yo that gives you like a tiny bit of upwards momentum too. So like it's really well put together, and you've got so many tools at your disposal from the start, and then on top of that, as you get further through the game, like of the levels I've been able to play anyway, there are loads of different power-ups you get. Like you can get there's a burger which turns your yo-yo into a sort of like a wrecking ball and can break down different doors and stuff like that. There's a propeller where if you sort of have a spin attack you can do with your yo-yo if you just spin around in a circle, which is good for like getting rid of the penguin enemies that there's quite a lot of in the game. But if you do that when you get this propeller, you get a big upwards like draft of momentum, and you can sort of fly for a bit. And there's so many little things in this game that are really, really cool. And each of these stages, it's about sort of 10 minutes long, but there's 3 hidden like golden nut things that can be used to unlock some like bonus stages, I think, at some point. And there are 3 people to help, which you'll find them and they'll give you the little tasks. So it might be like, rush to collect these packed lunches for me and get them to the workers, or there are some in a few levels where you get these ones where it's like, can you do some tricks for me? Can you get a combo of this score? So it gives you a little bit of a challenge to do. There's a lot of variety in there, and it's pretty bloody hard as well when it all comes together. It's very easy to die because it's got kind of a learning curve for all the different ways of moving about. It's not like with some platform games, you'll play them and you'll be like, well, this is just sort of exactly like this game, so I know how to move around. I've played a lot of platform games, I'm going to be fine. But you kind of have to get to grips with exactly how the yo-yo works. It's quite a unique traversal method, really.
It's we won't talk about this for a long time because we will obviously. I think you can gather we both kind of like it, and also we'll be covering it more. We don't actually have a release date for it yet. We know it's coming to like the usual platforms, I believe. Definitely PC, where we've both played it. But it is one of those where we wanted to put this video out because in a year where that is already being dominated by like enormous titles, it's one of those games where don't sleep on it. Like, keep an eye, because we can only talk in a preview sense, can't we? But it's really cool. I mean, we haven't mentioned how it looks because you're looking at it. Like, if you're watching this video, you're looking at it. You don't need us to tell you it looks gorgeous. But what I would suggest actually is for people to go and search out, because there's like some animated intro stuff and trailers that have been released in the lead up to the marketing that obviously we're not showing you because we're showing you gameplay, and they are really, it's Sunday morning cartoon stuff, isn't it? Yeah,
it's really cool. It looks great. It sounds great. It's got it all, really.
You can go to godisageek.com, obviously, and you can read a more formal preview from Lyle himself. This is we like to do these sort of just to accompany the preview, so you can get a good look at the gameplay while we chat about it. Almost in the podcast style. Other than that, like I say, when we've got a release date, we'll probably post that on God is a Geek as news as well. Other than that, thank you for being here, Lyle, and talking about Penny's Big Breakaway.
It was a pleasure. It's a fun game to talk about. Can't wait for it to come out.
Indeed, and we will speak to you in the next video. Bye bye for now.